Well, I have determined that the microphone that was on my phone, that this was all shot with, is kaput. It's dead. Time to get a new phone. So I'm recording all of this as a voiceover through headphones. Yep, that's going to be fun. Anyway, we're going to get the birds fed, and then we've got another project coming on. So I'll put this up in giddy up speed to make it go by quicker. Okay, so you might have noticed on the way over that there is a dark patch, and this is where the chicken tractor had last been. We went all the way down to the end and turned around right there where I'm pointing with my finger, and as it moves, I had to skip a little bit because some whoop-de-doos. That's what I was gesturing with my hands. But on the far side there, where the grass is green, that's where they were previous to this path. So it only takes about a week and a half to go from one end to the other, and the grass is already greened up where they were previously. Their manure works like fertilizer, and all this out here is where they were over the summer. But that has long since been by, and it's greening up pretty good too, along with the rain that helps to water the fertilizer, their manure, into the ground. Okay, so this right here is a little gravel bar that was created when our creek breached its banks when we had a lot of rain. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is shovel this into a sizing screen that I believe we will show here in just a moment. I'm kind of explaining how it's kind of odd where the low depressions are is where the gravel had collected, but there's grass everywhere else and you can hardly see any gravel at all. But anyway, so I'm going to shovel this stupid of time into this sizing screen, and I've got buckets underneath to collect the smaller bits, the sand and the small rocks that we're going to put in with the chicken coop so that they have a natural version of grit. That's what they would do if they were out in the wild, and I can't see buying it when we've got it laying all over the place. Okay, so remember that other project I was mentioning? Well, this is it. We're pouring another pad. Get ready for a whole bunch of concrete. Yeah, it seems like a lot more than it is when you're mixing it by hand in a wheelbarrow. But we're going to put together, I believe it was like another 17 or 18 bags to pour this back pad. Okay, so this is a process called screeding. I'm just using a 2x6 to try and get a flat surface across the top of the concrete. A little bit of a low spot there, had to fill it in. And unfortunately, I've only really got two sides that I can go off of. So I'm trying to push really hard with my left hand and get that level. And after that's set for a little bit, now I get to do the troweling. Yeah, this was interesting. Trying really hard not to fall into the concrete, but it's not hard enough to put a knee block down so I can kneel on it like a piece of plywood or whatever. So yeah, this was the first go of a magnesium trowel to try and float this stuff out, or a magnesium float, I guess it's called. Anyway, yeah, we got a little bit done. Then I came back about 2 hours later and did it again. And then I will come back a little bit later after that, again, and yeah, you get the idea. Okay, not the greatest lighting, but what I'm trying to show you here is the rounded corner. There's a little tool used to give that rounded edge along the whole side there. And then I'm going to come back with a steel float, and that's supposed to pop all the surface bubbles. But anyway, we got a little bit more work, and then this thing will be what I believe is called finished, and then we will put plastic over the top so that it can cure out over the next 10 days. See you in a week, y'all. God bless.